On the drive, goes inside the floater. Turn him over again. Booker scoops it up. Booker brings the boom.
Yes, we're back for another Run Pure Sports NBA playoff show, talking all things DraftKings, DK Sportsbook, two-man booth here on a Monday. Great Monday morning, and I got my boy Big T in the house, ready to talk some playoff action for today. Recap the weekend, Tony. I obviously your Nuggets didn't get it done, but they had a chance. They were there, and it's okay. 2-2 going back to OKC. It'll be an interesting series finish. But how you doing here? You feeling all right?
Yeah, I had to go get me a little drink before. How do we get on the camera? I had to go get me a little drink before.
What does that say?
Give me a little.
What does that shit say? I can't even read it, bro. What does it say?
It says make a bit. Wendy's is making a big difference around here. I had to go get me a little drink.
I sent you a picture this morning.
I said, a little drink.
I sent you. You did not go get Wendy's this morning just for me.
I had to go get me a little drink before the show.
You definitely got it yesterday and saved the cup. That's so funny.
Maybe. I had to go get me a little drink.
I sent Tony. I sent Tony a message. I said I'm gearing up for my Wendy's. I was in my weighted vest. I was doing a little morning run, some burpees, getting ready. So I'm ready to go. I'm when you tell me. Well, I'll wait until you tell me. Whenever you tell me it's time, I'll go get the order that I lost the bet.
Camera while you eat it, and we all watch.
I don't know. We'll have to figure that out.
You gotta get Andrew's new lid and let Andrew do the filming with his lid on.
he might laugh and enjoy that as I eat the Wendy's too. He might actually enjoy that. So maybe we'll get Andrew in as a surprise guest when he gets his new lid, which he wants as soon as possible, by the way.
Yeah.
But back to the NBA here, Tony. Unless you want to talk anything, you want to talk MMA? You want to talk how you were second? You were the first loser in MMA. Bryce was the winner. He owned you in MMA. 55K.
He owned me in NASCAR too. I had like the second.
Did you come second in NASCAR too to him?
No, he got second, but I was like right there where it was the same thing. He owned me in both sports. Whoop me.
Third and Schlong, man. He's crushing the niche sports. Right, RPS 15, get in. The niche sports are the best, by the way. They are absolutely
definitely the best.
Big T's been dialed in. He won't say it, but he's been dialed in with the MMA winners, the NASCAR winners. Obviously, Third and Schlong shipping massive contests on DraftKings.
Major week, baby. Niche sports. It's major week for the niche sports. It's always good.
It's majors week. PGA. Phil Mickelson's 5,400. I was just told right before this show.
I don't know if it's 54, but it's somewhere in the 5Ks.
Is it one of those where it's below? It's all the way down to 5K?
They got some really, really, really dusty ones down in the fives, like the course pros and stuff.
Oh, okay.
Some of those guys get invited. I mean, there's some real dust ones down there.
So there's a bunch of dead guys before we even start. Like,
yeah. A bunch of that guys.
Not even talking Phil. You're talking like way worse.
20 to 20. I don't know without looking. Probably 20 plus just total.
What's our boy Bryson at before we get into
way up? He's been on fire on the lift, like all top fives.
Yeah, I'm saying, what's his odds? Is he like 15 to 1,
I mean,
10 to 1?
10 to 1, 12 to 1. I haven't really looked yet.
All right, might have to fire on old Bryson. I mean, Rory had his though, so I don't want to go back. I said the Rory one.
We got the 5Ks though. You can play them both.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, I definitely think you can play them both. I just meant to win. Rory had his big win.
He's won at this course 4 times too, I think. So he's
got. Oh God, don't tell me that. He won at this course 4 times.
Bryson just won in Korea. He finished second in Mexico. He finished 5th at the Masters. I mean, these guys are dialed coming in.
Tell me we got another like 18 to 1. I'm looking now. We got an 18 to 1 or something like that price on Bryson.
No way. Not in this thing.
Well, he was for the last one, the Masters,
Yeah,
I think.
he's got to be like 10 or 12 in this one.
12-1 on DK Sportsbook. So I don't know if that's the best. You got John Rahm at 16, Xander at 20.
That's what I still don't get. Like Rahm, I wonder Rahm. Let me see what he's been doing. Because like I said on that other golf show, like he's been pretty solid too. I mean, 7th in Korea, 4th in Mexico. He finished 14th at the Masters. I didn't realize he finished that high up.
Because he was hot on the weekend, I think. He had that big Saturday, I think it was. He like moved up the board on Saturday.
He
like
shot 69 on Sunday too. I was looking at his thing. Yeah, I mean, he's in good form too. He's in really good. I didn't realize he was in that good of form.
What the hell is that? I don't even know what the JSU drinks piss. Good for the glutes.
He would do that.
All right, B.
Freaking glutes. I could see him like doing stuff like that just to get tougher.
I do actual exercises for the old glutes. No, I'll tell you right now, no real woman likes a dude with scrawny legs. I'll just tell you that. No
woman likes a dude with scrawny anything. What do you mean?
Yeah,
they don't like
that's
scrawny
true,
little
actually.
dudes.
That's true. That's true. But I'm telling you, if you have like scrawny little legs and you're like shorter,
correct.
No woman likes that. So if you have scrawny legs and you're short, like it's easy when you're tall like you and big.
Even if you're tall and have scrawny little legs, though, they're not going to like it as much either. You got to have some.
Of course. You got to have a little
to you.
You got to have a little meat or something down there. Like you can't, you can't just have the meat in between your legs. You got to have some meat on the leg bones.
Meat between your legs either.
Oh, that's why we got to work the glutes, bro. You got to work the hammies, the quads, the glute. You got to get it all working, especially me. I'm a little shorter, so you got to make sure you strengthen them up a little bit. So I think the wife appreciates
being built like Thor and have a hammer, he said.
It's too good. Henry, apple juice, big T would love a Henny and apple juice, big T. Henny and apple juice.
Could go down smooth. After that Nuggets game, I need it. Man, we blew one, like you said in the intro. Man, we blew it. We had them. We were up 6. We played terrible in the first quarter. Missed every shot. What was it? At one point, I think both teams were 1 for like 20 from 3 or something.
They both finished half 3 for 22. Both teams.
It was absolutely terrible.
It was 3 for 22 at halftime. Both of them. They shot 3 for 22.
And the Nuggets played an incredible third quarter, and they were up, I think, 6 going to the fourth. They actually made shots in the third. And then the fourth, it was right back to just missing that. There was a stretch to start the fourth where they had like 6 or 7 wide open threes and just missed them all. If they make any of them, it's a different game because they keep that momentum. They just missed them all. And Jokic is struggling. He was struggling versus the Clippers. He's struggling versus OKC. This is why I love the playoffs, though. Jokic is obviously my favorite ever. I love him. But I love watching guys struggle. I would love watching them have to fight through it.
SGA struggled. Not just Yoke. SGA struggled.
SGA is up against it big time right now. They're both struggling, which I love. It shouldn't be easy. These are good series. This is what I want to watch SGA fight through the contact. He hasn't got calls. He got a few, but he hasn't got the same whistle, which I love watching. I love watching Jokic not get the whistle. I love these. I love watching them have to fight. And yeah, the Nuggets lost, but as a fan, I love that it's 2-2. Now the Nuggets got to win one on the road. And OKC, it's not going to be easy for them, even though it's 2-2. The Nuggets got that pedigree, and this was a tough spot for both of them, too. I mean, that game went to overtime Friday night, and they got to come back and play Sunday at, 1 o'clock Denver time or whatever it was? I mean, that's
By the way, that was so stupid why they played at 1. Why weren't they the 8 o'clock game? What reason?
Just so stupid. But especially when it's a 2-hour difference. Indiana's too. It's just so stupid. But beside the point, they had their chances to win. They freaking just blew. MPJ too. I think the Nuggets are as simple as that in a way. When he's horrible, it makes such a big difference. He was so bad in that fourth. There was loose balls right in front of him. He's shooting.
What about that? What about that cut? What about that cut under the basket where he just
he's got a dunk, man. He's got a dunk.
But it hit his hands and he just dropped it. There was no other. He dropped it.
They blew it. I mean, they had that game. They had the game and the chance. Obviously, if they're up 3-1, they got a really good chance to win. Now they're a really big dog again, I'm sure. But they can easily still
They
win.
are plus 400 right now. I love.
Yeah, and I mean, I'll like that again because that game's not going to deter them. They got championship medal. They just got it. Jokic has to have a game though. Like he's got to. These shots he's getting aren't bad shots. He's just missing them all. And
Jamal was also. You could tell like he was
tired.
He's tired. Yeah, and you know it too because a lot of those shots were like short
and with no chance to go in.
No chance. Like that 3-ball, he had a good look on that 3-ball at the like towards the end. I forget if there was like 20 something seconds on the clock or whatever it was, and he got that step back 3 look, and for him that's a decent look. You know what I mean? And just way short.
They just missed
way
them.
short.
I mean,
so
I still think they got. I mean, OKC's playing them. They got OKC's number a little bit. I mean, they're playing them tough. I feel pretty good still, even though they lost.
Yeah, I mean, OKC's role players definitely bailed them out yesterday.
Oh, my God. They hit like 5 straight threes, those role guys.
Case and Wallace hit a couple threes late. Caruso made some
too. The funny thing is, I was getting ready to tweet how overrated depth was in the playoffs, and then they just come in and just shove like 5 straight threes in.
Dude, Caruso ripping Jamal. I don't know why Jamal tried to like get fancy in that spot with Caruso. It's like, he's the one guy, like, don't get fancy with. Like, he's the one guy.
Too. I mean, they had a fast break and he lost it. And then
because he drew the foul and then he got free throws, I think, right?
Yeah, that was there was a lot of big plays. I mean, they blew it. They had their chance at home. I mean, after that start they had to be up 6 going to the 4th. And they should have closed that game. And they had and Westbrook was horrible. Westbrook was a -20 when he's bad. When him and MPJ are both bad, they're going to have a hard time winning. You can't win with 3 guys playing good or 4 guys.
Well, because they only play 6, pretty much. Yeah. So, I mean, but again,
Westbrook
they still
horrible.
had.
He finally airballed that corner
even
3.
Westbrook being bad and MPJ being bad, Tony, they still had a chance to win, though. So, even with those guys being bad.
Because Aaron Gordon is just superhuman right now. Like, he's superhuman. So good.
Dude, that block on Chet from behind where he just came out of nowhere and just smashed it against the board and then took he's just on a different level.
Was amazing too. They were both amazing is how they were in that game. And Jokic was terrible, but he still was Jokic. I mean, he's got a shit ton of rebounds and loose balls.
I mean, for Jokic going like a whole quarter without scoring a bucket, like any bucket, what did he get? A shot. His first bucket was with like 8 minutes or 6 minutes left in the second. I think that was his first bucket.
I love it. I seriously love it. Even though he's struggled, I love watching him struggle through it. It makes it feel better when they battle through after games like this.
Couple questions here. Do you see this? I know you don't look at football at all, but see the Cowboys and Eagles or the opener?
I got my shaft went inside me thinking of week 1 football.
Your shaft stays inside you.
May 12th. Why in the world would I care if the Eagles and Cowboys play week 1?
Because the Cowboys suck and the Eagles should have to play someone who, I don't know, made the playoffs last year. I don't know. I think Washington got slated, but that's fine. You don't have to talk about that.
That was why you brought up you wanted Washington at the opener.
No, I wanted any team that made the playoffs. The Chiefs, the Rams, the Packers. I don't give a shit. Anyone that made the playoffs, not a losing team last year. But this was another topic in our Discord. Everyone was talking about early this morning about Giannis possibly leaving. There's the Rockets. There's a couple.
The Rockets would be an interesting fit for sure.
They would be. I bet you he wants to go to like New York or something like that. I bet you that's where he like wants to go. Like preferably he wants to go somewhere like that. But Rockets, they have the assets to trade for him. So that's why I kind of thought it was interesting.
Gets traded. I want to see him in a new spot.
If I'm Houston, I say anyone but Amen Thompson is available. That's what I would say for Giannis.
Yeah, or take Amen and nothing else, like the Lakers deal.
Oh yeah, or you could do Amen and nothing else. Yeah.
Or barely nothing else.
Just for me, if I'm Houston, like you could give a decent package with like Reed Shepherd, some picks.
You think people actually want Reed Shepherd still though?
Well, I don't know, but
Everyone
he's a
keeps
first.
throwing Reed Shepherd in, and I'm thinking in my head, like, why in the world would anyone want Reed Shepherd?
Well, he's
Unless
a
it's like
first round pick. He's a high first round pick.
oh,
Like, I don't know. I'm
I
just,
still don't know how. How can a 6-foot white dude be a third pick?
I mean, I don't know. Fallick was in there though. Fallick said Reed Shepherd's going to be really good. So Fallick still thinks he's
That does
got
not
a good
surprise
chance to
me.
be good. I think his hope is like Peyton Pritchard. Like if you're hoping for something, it'd be like that type, probably. Right?
Yeah. I mean, I
I don't know. So
I could see that.
Spurs definitely have the assets. They've got the picks
What's
this
gonna happen when
year.
the Spurs get the number 1 tonight and somehow have Cooper and Wemby?
If the Spurs get the number 1 tonight, you know for a fact it's fixed, and there's nothing else. Like, I mean, I'm telling you right now, it's just
Cooper and
so
Wemby.
fixed. They love Popovich. They love this. For some reason, the Spurs, by the way, how are the Spurs like one of the teams? Like, I don't even understand that. I get the Lakers. I get the Celtics, the Knicks. I get all those teams, Tony. But, like, the Spurs?
They won for like 20 straight years because of that fixed one where they got Duncan.
Timmy D, man. Timmy Duncan. He was so fucking good. And on top of it, though, they did draft really well besides that. I mean, if you look at, like, they drafted Parker, Ginobili, fucking Kawhi later down the road. They drafted so damn good. Like,
yeah, they developed good too.
And those weren't like high first round picks. You know what I mean? Those were all later. Even Kawhi was like the middle of the first round. He wasn't even
no one liked Kawhi coming in for sure.
No, yeah, he was not a like high first round pick. He was in the middle of the first, if I remember. So, Cavs, LeBron. Oh, come on, betting that right now. Yeah, betting that right. Can you bet it? What's the odds? I want to bet it.
You can bet it these days. There's got to be odds up.
So the Spurs to get the first. Let's see. It's got to be up. Points. Got to be like all the way in the back here. 2025 draft. Oh, teams drafted by. Okay, let's see. Which team will draft Cooper Flagg? This is what we want here. San Antonio Spurs are 14-1, Tony, to draft Cooper Flagg. What do you think? The Hornets have the best odds at 6-1. Washington's got 8-1, or Utah's got 6-1. Washington's got 6-1. Pelicans plus 650. 76ers plus 850, the Nets plus 1,000, and then the Raptors and the Spurs 12-1, and then Spurs 14-1. So those
they love putting these lines up and just letting people throw some money at it.
Oh yeah, this is that they love this Spurs. Shit. I'm definitely betting the Spurs. I'll tell you that right now.
The retirement gift.
That's what I'm saying. The gift. Yeah.
Will he come back from retirement if they
get him?
Hey, I'm just joking. There's no way he's coming back. He's not healthy at all.
Poor Pop. Just
when they had to help him with his jacket, I definitely felt bad for him.
I felt rough for him, man. It
happens quick. Appreciate every day. It happens quick.
Yep. Yeah, for sure. Pop, absolute legend as a coach. All right. So anything else? Let's go to the games here. Besides, we talked about the Nuggets. The Pacers game, I don't even know. The only thing I want to talk about with the Pacers game was how the fuck, and we kind of talked about this before we went on, but how in the world is Benedict Mathurin thrown out for that love tap that he gave to DeAndre Hunter? I don't give a shit if his fist was closed. I don't care. I don't care how his hand was, Tony. He gave that dude a love tap, and then he got 2 hands shoved for his troubles, and I get it. He instigated it. Why can't both of them just get a technical? Like,
I mean, I'm firmly in the camp that either my opinion would be they both should get a technical. But if you really want to clean, just flagrant one, both of them. But if you really want to do it, they just got to both be kicked out. I mean, they're both role players for one. They're similar roles on both teams.
You want them both to be kicked out?
One way or the other. No, I said if it's up to me, they both get a flagrant one and they stay in. But if you're going to kick him out, I just don't see how you don't kick out DeAndre too. And it's been going each game. So I knew going into the game, they had looked like each game these two had kind of gone chest to chest. So if you really want to do it, just kick them both out. I don't understand how you can physically kick. And their reasoning was he had a closed fist and DeAndre didn't.
Yes.
So what? Like, he didn't punch him in the face. If he
he
closed his fist and hit him in the face, I would have felt differently about it. He gave a little shimmy to the chest. I mean, come on.
To the chest. Yeah, to the chest. You know what I mean? He knew what he was doing. He didn't hit him. Their rule is like the neck up, right, Tony?
Yeah.
So like I could totally understand if he did anything to the throat/face. I'm like, okay.
Even the balls. If he clipped him in the balls, kick him out. Like,
man code. You can't be. When I first saw it,
I thought it was the balls. Like I thought it was going to be like he went up and like the.
Well, because he kind of went down. You couldn't really see it at first until they really slowed down.
I thought he just like punched him in the balls.
Yeah.
Once I realized it was just chest, I literally couldn't believe it. I was like, what did I just watch?
Yeah, you watch just absolute softness from the NBA, and it's egregious just because he has you have to have some type of common sense interpretation of the rule. So the rule says if it's a closed fist, I guess, then you just eject them. But like, come on, can we have a little common sense? So if I go over to your shoulder, Tony, and I just tap you with my fist on the shoulder, they're throwing me out, like, because that's what he did just to his chest.
Yeah,
and DeAndre Hunter exaggerated.
And I'm glad it didn't impact anything as far as the actual series. It screwed us in Showdown a little because I was definitely high on him. He was cheap. But as far as the series, at least it didn't cost anything because they just laid wood, and I didn't understand. I haven't understood the spread in that series the whole time. I know Cleveland played good in Game 3, but they still got injuries, and Indiana is just good. And I still don't get it. They're still not even that big of favorites. They're up 3-1. I literally don't get it.
And now Donnie Mitch tweaked his ankle. I mean, I think he kind of just gave up and said, take me out of this game. Like 40,
which he should.
Whatever.
If you're
down
the question, 40 plus.
The question is really, and I saw Inside the NBA was talking about it, and Charles was right when he said, he's like, I wish they asked him, like, if the game was close, would Donnie have actually left the game? Because that's how we would actually know, like, okay, was it that serious? Because in my opinion, there's no fucking way. If they were up 5 or it was a tie game or the Pacers were up 5, I don't think Donnie Mitch is coming out of that game. Yeah. So that's kind of, I wish they asked them that. I agree with Charles. By the way, the like pre and post game stuff is just crazy when they have ESPN and Inside the NBA do a game and you can just see the difference and how Inside the NBA is just so much better. Even when you take like Shaq out and put Jalen Rose, it's still way better. It still like crushes ESPN. ESPN's coverage is terrible.
Even their announcers are terrible. Like whatever game I tweeted about that night, I honestly don't
remember. You texted
me.
You said, "Who the fuck is this guy talking right now?"
It was so bad. It was like the ESPN 3 like college game at midnight type level of broadcasting. It was so bad.
Wasn't that like Bill Walton for years? Is he still doing it? Remember when he was
Bill
like
Walton was doing it like he was high, like it was funny. It wasn't even like that. Like Bill Walton even had his own strategy. It wasn't for the like actual knowledge. This guy was like meaning business, and the stuff he said was just literally horrendous. It was so bad.
It was the Minnesota Golden State game. That's the game. Because remember, we were because I remember we texted that, and then after that was when Ant went down. So I remember it. It was that game though, I think.
I honestly don't. I never looked at actually who it was because I don't even know if I wanted to know who it was because it's probably a former player that just isn't very good at announcing, and he would just say stuff that just like I like to be informed a little bit. I don't want to hear. I don't even remember an example. It was just he was so bad.
he was just terrible. But yeah, I mean. I don't know. That's it from those games. We'll see what happens. I think
the Pacers line though, like they're getting 7.5 in the next game, and I just don't get it. I mean, they're
7.5 point dogs.
I literally don't get it. I know it's in Cleveland. I just don't understand how they could get 7.5 points, and I don't understand how they're up 3-1. What do we think the series price is? It's only minus 330.
They were 6.5 point or 5. What were they? 5.5 or 6.5 yesterday.
I just don't get it. I don't. Some series I'll just never understand, and I don't get it.
I think Vegas is just giving these teams the same respect that they give like Boston, Minnesota, and Golden State. Like, I think they're getting the same respect. OKC against Denver, like they're getting that type of respect. These 1 seeds, these 1 and 2 seeds are getting like ultimate
At least
respect.
all those teams have like done stuff though. Like this team's never done anything. I just don't get it. Like,
well, OKC
again, we
hasn't
talked
done
about it all
anything.
series, but you line these guys up 1v1, and I just don't think the teams are that different.
They aren't. They aren't. Especially when like Garland and these guys are banged up on top of when you add
they
that.
Were all fully. I think these lines are baked like they're all just fully healthy.
Yeah, and they're clearly not. Is the key? So
I just don't get it. So I'm just gonna keep taking the Pacers and take my chances.
Yep. Yeah, I'm with you here. But Pacers aren't on today's slate, Tony. We've got another 2-gamer, 7:30 start time, by the way. So it's got that extra 30 minutes.
Mondays might be my favorite day of the whole week with the baseball the way it is and basketball the way it is, the $5 in baseball. I look forward to Mondays, as crazy as that sounds.
King of the Diamonds back too for baseball. The DK promo, which by the way, that Martin Maldonado almost having 20K to somebody was crazy. I saw someone tweeted
that was a bad beat.
Their screenshot where he was the only guy of his 5 that hit the bomb, but like he was going to win 20K if what was it? Ohtani hit the grand slam.
The last play of the whole night. That cost me 10K too in the baseball. I don't know if I told you. I was in second for 20K. The only thing that could push me to I only moved to third, luckily, but it was second to third. All I needed was the game to end. I lost by 3 points, so literally anything but a grand slam, and I get second. And the Maldonado. So that Ohtani bomb swung a lot of money. It was the last play of the night. It was the last play of the slate.
It went from a $60 bonus bet or from a 20K bonus bet to $60.
I can't think of a worse scenario than Maldonado to Ohtani.
Literally the worst.
The crazy worst part, scenario. Though, I did want to talk about this with you, though. So I think there's a decent strategy to that. They were the highest total by a mile on that slate, San Diego.
Mile.
There could be something to say for that. Just the 5 highest totals and one of the lowest players on there, and just whatever, throw it in there.
Yeah, I was thinking about it too. I was like,
I would have never taken Maldo,
though. What's funny though is Tony, like, should we just be doing that? Like, should we just be taking guys that have plus 500 odds or better? Because
everyone's talking like that part, like just the high team total, rather than take like a good guy on a shitty team.
Yes, but I'm saying like, okay, let's say we had the Rockies Padres from yesterday, right? Like Tatis is obviously he's like plus 180 to hit. Yeah, Machado's like plus 265. Like, don't take those guys, but like take the guys in the middle or lower down the board, like the Bogarts, Haywards.
Like the Padres, I think it's literally got to be like Maldonado though, because everyone else is getting played a lot.
Everyone else,
but like Maldonado, if you look at all those Padres, how are you ever clicking Maldonado without the
only way is just you saying to yourself, which I think is the right approach in a way, where it's like, dude, I'm not winning the parlay, but I'm going to take 5 guys from the best game environments
that
have the lowest odds, maybe, or some of the lowest odds or worst odds to hit a home run, in theory, right? But if one of them does it, Tony, and they somehow score the most runs, you're going to win a lot of money. Like,
I like it because there's no way it'll ever be higher than that ever, like 20 grand, because he was the shittiest hitter on the board, and on top of it, he was the only one in the highest runs that hit a bomb, which is also hard to do. So, like, to score the most runs and only have one guy hit a home run,
he was the only Padre. Yeah, he was the only Padre on that slate that hit.
If anyone else hit one, that chop would have gone down to $60 again.
Yeah, $100 maybe, $60, whatever it was, like crazy type. So
the more from each team that hit it, though. I mean, that was the perfect. I would have been sick if I had Maldonado. I would have been absolutely
What's
disgusted.
funny is you say you would never have Maldonado, but you are the person I would see to have Maldonado. Is the funny
because
part.
I swear to God, that day I looked at all the Padres and I'm like, I can't take Maldonado. In my own head, I said, I can't do it. I just can't click it. And then it happened.
So if you go to DK Sportsbook and you just go to the promos, I mean, it's right in front of you when you go to when you sign in and it's on the main page. But if you just go to the rewards and you click the promos spot, you'll see all their promos. So, and you just opt in to King of the Diamond, click the opt in button, and then you got to parlay, Tony. You say it has to be at least 2 home runs, but you should do 5.
You're parlaying 5 guys.
You're parlaying 5 guys. You can do it from 5 different teams if you want to.
From 5 different teams too.
Yeah. Listen though, you could do it from 3 different teams if you think those 3 teams have the best, or 3 games have the best spot, and you're just like, I want to take 2 players from 2 and then 1. You could do that too, but you should probably do 5 teams. 5 different players, parlay them up. You're probably not going to win the parlay, but it's a $5 minimum. So you only got to put $5 on it, and you have a chance to win, or a chance to have in the runnings for $1 million in prize pool split between whoever picks the home run winner. That also is the team that scores the highest amount of runs on the slate. So you got to have the team that scores the highest amount of runs, and you got to have one of the guys that hits a home run from that team. So if there's only one, like we're talking with Maldonado, you would have had Maldonado to win that 20K. But the Dodgers, I think they had 2, right, Tony?
Yeah, Kiki and Ohtani. They only had 1 before Ohtani, though. It would have been Kiki who would also paid a decent amount, not as much as Maldonado, but
they posted the Kike number. I can't remember, but it was high. It was still pretty high. I think it was 5-10K or something like that. It was pretty high if I remember.
Yeah,
correctly.
it's not available in Texas though, because you don't have gambling in Texas. You can't sports bet. So
yeah, you gotta have DK Sportsbook. You gotta have that.
My favorite part about this promo though is this: what Beanair said. I love just doing the $5 to win like 100K. Granted, you're never gonna get all the bombs. I believe.
Never.
I know you're probably, but each one that you get, your hopes get a little higher. You're like, ooh, what if I hit this for $5 to win 100? It's just fun.
It's the best, but also it makes you want to do like $10 or $15 to see that like 100K, 150K.
I always do. I bump it up. Yeah.
It's just like, oh man,
I've
last
couple times they've limited it though, and that doesn't usually happen to me. Where I'll try to get into something, and they're like, "Oh, you can only bet $18 on this or something, or $13."
You're too sharp. You're too sharp.
They let me bet a lot of stuff, so I'm not like the Boytons and the Mangones that only bet the sharp shit.
Yeah. And they're banned from certain books.
I definitely throw some loose cannons in there.
Got to, man. You gotta throw some shots, some live darts. You know what I mean? Some big darts. So we almost had one with JDM on Saturday with the finish in the
that one should have hit too. That one was. I respect him for just going after it when he had the win locked.
I knew that was his plan too. I thought he would try and get him in the later rounds. He kind of said something like that too. Hopefully he gets tired. But
count health bets. I seriously talk about this with me. You got to throw some live ones in there. You get limited. You got to throw a few fishies in there. There's nothing wrong with throwing a few fish in the pond.
Yeah, you got to. I do it all the time. I try to tell Mangone this. He just won't listen. Mangone, you can't. If you bet the way you bet, you're going to be limited to $1.69 forever on everything you bet. You can't.
You got to throw some live ones in there.
Got to. Absolutely.
Sometimes you hit the live ones too. Makes it fun.
Yeah. Those are the fun ones to root on though. Those are the ones where you get out of your fucking seat when you're close, you know what I mean? Where it's man, the 2.5 over 2.5 minus 110. You're not getting over your seat or getting out of your seat to pump up, Tony, no matter what.
That's my biggest issue with a lot of those props that they do that are super sharp. It's they probably will win, but it's am I really that excited for Jason Tatum over 25 points, 115 to win 100? It doesn't get me pumping.
No, exactly. Like I was on, what was it, SGA? I think his rebounding prop was like 6.5 yesterday, and it was plus money. And I was like, I think this is a good prop. I think he gets over on it. So I bet it, but I bet it with a couple other things. But I wasn't like, come on, get that 7-3. I like getting pumped for it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I was just like, yeah, whatever. Like it was a good prop. It hit. I think. Oh no, he had 6. It didn't hit. He had 6 rebounds at half, and he stayed at 6 rebounds.
Never
So
got
it
another
didn't
one.
even hit. But
Jokic lost his 3 prop too on that one where his foot hit the freaking line. It was so
oh,
annoying
that
that
was so close too.
I don't know. Because at the end of the half they made it a 3, but then the one he hit in the second half they made from a 3 to a 2. It must have just literally been on the line. It was so annoying. And then he
So
never
annoying.
shot another one like in the fourth. He never really shot one at the end.
I mean, like they weren't really going his way a lot. I mean, he hit a couple, I guess, but
Yeah, he had to
yeah,
work.
he struggled, man. He struggled.
He struggled in his only great game was game 1. He struggled in the
Yeah.
first series too.
They did. I think they did a good job of in the last couple games, like keeping a big body on, like keeping Jalen with the Y on him when Hartenstein goes out. Because man, when Chet goes on, like the few times Chet was on him yesterday, he just bullied his ass. I was just like, yep, that's exactly why
They
they
got a
don't
good
want Chet
game
on him.
plan for sure. I mean, they're just leaning on him.
Yep. All right, let's get to these 2 games here, Tony. Boston and New York is game 1, 7:30 start time. Knicks at home for game 4, 2-1 series. Knicks up by 1. Boston still a healthy favorite here at minus, I think, 258 over on DK right now. Minus 250 on DK Sportsbook. They're 6.5-point favorites. Total sitting at 208 here. What are we looking at with Boston from the betting side, and then obviously branch it into the DFS side here?
Yeah, this is going to be the interesting game of the series for me in this one, just because it was 2-0. I pretty much figured Boston would handle them in game 3. I mean, they're not going to come in and just get swept as champs. So like it made sense. And tonight, I think a lot of people think they'll just do it again. The problem in these series when you give games away, 2 of them like that, is you can't ever account for when New York just has a great game. Like the Pacers did yesterday, where you just give them life and then they just shoot the hell out of the ball one game and you can't do anything about it. That's kind of where I think the Knicks are tonight. They played horrible the last game. Boston played great. I think the Knicks play a good game tonight. Does that mean they win? It might not, because Boston's the type of team, if they play good, they just win. If they make shots, they just win. But I think we see a good Knicks game tonight, and they're going to go for broke tonight too, which they already do. But like, you're not going to play Precious, you're not going to play Campaign, and these guys are just going to play. Man, I wanted to look at SaberSim just early. Cat hit all 150 teams because he's 7,500, which I don't love. I still don't love Cat, but the games that they did, he looked good. And these prices are just very cheap for the minutes they're going to play. I mean, even like Deuce McBride, I don't think is going to play a ton tonight. I think it's going to be these 6. Mitch Robb is going to be tough for me not to play, seeing that he only hits 3% of the rosters and knowing the Knicks want to play him. And if they keep fouling like they are, he gets some built-in points from that too, which is nice for 3,700. So I'm going to like the Knicks a lot. I mean, what's the actual spread? 6-7? What is it?
It's 6.5. Boston's minus 250 on the money line.
I got to like the Knicks tonight. I liked Boston on Saturday. I got to like the Knicks tonight. Again, like I said, Boston, when they play great, they can beat anyone. I think this is the Knicks game though tonight. I'm on the Knicks.
Yeah, I mean, Boston's like one of the easiest teams to peg ever. And I think we've had a good beat on them. I mean, it's just as simple as like they're going to keep taking these tough shots and these threes. Even obviously they get open threes too. But like if Peyton Pritchard shoots 50% from 3, if Jason Tatum goes in there and shoots over 50% from 3, Al Horford shoots 70% plus from 3, they're going to win against most teams, right, Tony? That's just the facts. And I know people don't like to hear it, but that's just facts, right? Unless the Knicks have like one of those outer body experience type games where they're just unconscious, which they haven't.
Boston plays good. The Knicks physically can't beat them.
Correct. but they haven't had that game yet, right, Tony? Like they were honestly
They were pretty
not
close
great.
last game. They made a lot of
No,
shots last
no,
game.
the Knicks. The
Oh,
Knicks
the Knicks haven't had that game. Yeah.
haven't had that game, right? And the Knicks want like a lower scoring, like when Boston scores like 105 plus, that's bad news for the Knicks. You know what I mean? Like I in my opinion, they don't want those games with Boston because Boston's normally in those spots going to outshoot a lot of teams when they're scoring, 105, 110 plus points. Not that the Knicks can't. I'm just saying that tends more to lean Boston's way, in my opinion. But I do think this is a game where, like you said, the Knicks go all out. And so it kind of makes sense, like us being on the 6.5 with the Knicks side. That doesn't mean that the Knicks pull it out. It's literally just one of those spots where I think the Knicks are going to go all out. And I think Jalen Brunson's going to have a good game at home and keep them kind of competitive. Guys like Josh Hart, too. These are the type of guys in these type of games that I like. Like his minutes, obviously he didn't play as many minutes as the first two games, Tony, but like the first two games, 45 and 43 minutes. I think he gets back into that 45 to 43 minute range. And at 6,500, I mean, how many 6,500 guys do we get playing 43 to 45 minutes? Like not many. So, and I think you'll see that with, well, here's the thing, actually. So one of these guys gets hurt by Mitch Rob, right? Mikal Bridges, OG. I don't think it's Josh Hart. So I think it's going to come down to who's playing better, because I think Mitch Rob's got to hurt one of these guys' minutes from getting into the 40s, right?
Yeah, I mean, it has to, just because, I mean, it's just if all these guys, just say it in a perfect world for the Knicks, all those guys play great, all five of them, which won't happen. One of them always stinks a little bit.
One of them won't.
Foul trouble more so usually. But if they do, Mitch Rob just won't play that much. It is a fact. But chances are Cat, which honestly the perfect storm for me will be Cat just gets in foul trouble like he always does. Like last game, he freaking just runs into like 4 different guys. Bodies are flopping everywhere, and then he looks like that. How's that a foul? I'm like, dude, you literally ran through 4 different guys. What do you mean?
And Boston is that team. Like Derek White is going to take those charges every time he has a chance. Like that's what they do. Like don't even give them the chance. And he always does it too. He always puts his head down and just rams through people.
With his big old body, like dudes aren't going to flop off of him. Like, I mean,
of course,
but that's a perfect storm for me. Don't get me wrong. I'm going to play some Cat because he's only 7,500 at home. But I also think for like my main team, it's a perfect storm for me. If he gets in foul trouble, Mitch Rob picks up the minutes. I play Brunson at 8,200. I play 1 or 2 of these 3. Because, I mean, at least one of these guys is going to smash. Probably 2 of these guys is going to smash. At these prices, they're just cheap. They're just, for playing 40-plus minutes, they're like the Christian Brown, Aaron Gordon type, where you're just getting 43 minutes for $6K. One of them's going to bust probably too, though, because of fouls and missed shots and stuff.
That's what I'm saying. I think 1 or 2 of these Knicks bust, and that's the question. Is
OG was horrendous last game, so is he going to be horrendous again? Or he's super wide variance, because when he's good, he's good. And the Knicks need OG. The Knicks need OG more than they need these other guys. They need him to be good.
I mean, even Bridges is kind of like high variance, like because he could just miss shots. Like it's like
definitely,
and you need him to hit shots. Like
it's hard, like to distinguish between them. Honestly, like that's the hard part is picking.
That's why I definitely like Josh Hart out of those guys, because he doesn't need to hit shots to kind of get there. I think I'll go Josh Hart, OG Bridges, but I could see
where the percentages are too, 60, 25, as far as just like the naked runs. Obviously, they won't be exactly those numbers, but so the numbers do agree with you early on that's what it should be. I think it's interesting that Brunson only hits 12%. Oh, they do have him projected for 38 though. Come on, Saber, 38.
Yeah, don't like Jalen Brunson.
Tough projection for a guy that's going to play 45 minutes tonight. That's a tough one.
Yeah, I mean, let's be honest though, Tony. He hasn't really had like a massive game yet in the series from like a fantasy point perspective. Like against Detroit, he was putting up some he's in the 50s most of the series, and against Boston. But again, like I've said before, like Boston's just one of those teams. Like they're going to be as tough as possible on a guy like Jalen Brunson. Like this is the worst matchup for Brunson out of any team they'll see, I think, in the playoffs, to be honest with you, outside of maybe like Minnesota or someone like that.
Minnesota would be a disaster for him, but they won't ever see them.
So they won't see him unless they go to the finals. So this is probably the second worst spot they can get for someone like Brunson. So, all right, it sounds like we're on board with the Knicks. Yeah, Mitch Rob's got to hit his free throws. He can't make free throws. They're gonna keep giving him chances though, and that's
that bad.
I mean, we always talked about it for years how some of these bigs just can't shoot. It's like they can't shoot.
He shoots worse than I think I've ever seen now. Like his are
Ben Simmons shoots pretty bad. You watch him shoot free throws?
I think Ben Simmons would put him, if they shot for money, I think Ben Simmons would put him onto the street.
I think we'd see some of the dustiest free throw shooting we've ever seen.
That air ball he had the other night was easily the worst air ball I've ever seen in my life. On the free throw line.
I don't know. Your GOAT LeBron had some pretty crazy air balls in his time.
Mitch Rob didn't even hit net. It was below the net.
He didn't even hit net.
God.
All right. So we agree on the Knicks side. The Celtics side, Tony, I mean, I've been playing Derek White, and he's just been awesome in this series. Obviously, not as like amazing 31 fantasy points, still fine for, I guess, his price tag. But I mean, I like guys like Derek White when they're under 7K. Like, I think he's a decent tag. The guys I'll continue to not play, Drew Holiday, whenever they have a chance to like pull his minutes back because he's clearly injured, they're going to do it. And that's what you saw with like Peyton Pritchard playing good / them kind of handling the Knicks last game, Tony. So I don't really like Drew. I mean, Kristaps, you literally can't play. Like he's 4,800, but he doesn't get minutes. Like he doesn't get any minutes. So what about Al? Al's the other one. He gets open looks, but it's just like if he hits them, he might be okay.
I mean, last game he went through. That's why I like doing these shows every day, because we always say this stuff. But so last game, 35 minutes, 6 for 9 from the field, 3 for 4 from 3, 9 boards, still only 33. Which, again, like we always say, same line. That's why I always feel redundant when we do these. But he's 5K. I mean, is he going to play that good again? Probably not. I mean, but if he did, you'd be happy with 33. But man,
if he plays that good again, Boston's winning.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
because let me tell you, he gets the open looks. When they swing that ball around and they have the ball movement for the three, he is the dude getting the open looks. These Peyton Pritchards, the Derek Whites, Jason, they're trying to not let them get like the wide open looks. They want guys like Al to shoot. Those are the guys that they want to be throwing up those shots. So
yeah. So I can't go Al. I agree with you. I love Derek White. I can't go Jalen either. He's shown no upside. He's 72. I know his price looks good. And again, all these things I'm saying are for my main team. Can I get some Jaylen Brown? Because I've been liking the 20 max where like the $4 and stuff, I can put 20 in. I've been liking that. So I might play 20. I mean, I'll get some like Horford. If Horford's the last guy in, again, it's only a 2-game slate. So like some of these guys we don't like. Doesn't mean we're not playing any of them, but as far as like my main team, and Tatum's let me down a little too. I just haven't. I thought Tatum would crush last game, and what was his actual numbers? He was 8 for 20. He still just hasn't. I don't know. I'm fine with Tatum, but I think I like Jimmy and Ant and Brunson and a lot of these other guys a little more than Tatum. So I think it's Derek White. I like Peyton Pritchard looked great finally for us last game. He's still cheap. I'll have him in the mix. But honestly, I like the Knicks for fantasy more than – I love Derek White. I got to play Derek White.
Yeah, I think Derek White, Tatum. I mean, Pritchard, you want to talk about a guy like that was as good a game against the Knicks as you're going to get from probably someone like Peyton Pritchard.
Yeah.
So – yeah, I mean, he's in play, but I would not
shot
expect
16 times, 10 threes, 5 for 10 threes. Yeah, I mean,
another one though. Like if you're out there, who do you want shooting? Like, do you want Jason Tatum and Derek White, or do you want Peyton Pritchard? Like,
I want
I mean,
those other guys shooting. I don't want Pritchard shooting wide open corner threes.
yeah, well, all right. I think those guys are prioritizing keeping
I'm
away
with
the stud.
Rubio and you. I want him over Trae Young.
Oh, now you're back on board. Him over Trae Young.
The Whiteys are coming. The Whiteys are back, baby.
I want to see, honestly, you know what I want to see? I want to see Peyton Pritchard on a team, on a shitty team, just so I can see how good he actually is, like day in and day out. Like if he actually,
you won't like what you see.
I won't like what I see.
You won't like what you see when he's not getting wide open shots all night.
Well, because that's what Trae Young, to be fair, that's what Trae Young kind of has to deal with, right?
Imagine
so, like,
if they switched roles. If Trae Young got the coverage that friggin' Pritchard
Peyton Pritchard gets, like the same coverage.
They just switched roles completely, and people didn't know who they were. Like,
if Trae Young got the open looks that Peyton gets, he would be amazing.
And Pritchard having to face doubles all night, and it would just, there's no way.
Yeah,
but it doesn't matter because people play their roles. So you play your role, what you play.
That's
he
right.
He doesn't need to be a star.
I mean, yeah, TJ's I think TJ
McConnell's awesome though. It's the same thing. He's awesome.
Yeah, but TJ wouldn't be asked to carry even a bad team. His role is his role. He'd be on a bad team, he'd probably be the sixth man instead of the 8th or 9th man, and he'd still play like a similar role or like a 7th man.
All the Whiteys, they're the same.
Yeah, Ty Jerome not on Cleveland. Yeah, if he was on a bad team. Yep. All right. Last question before we move to this next game here. Jaylen Brown or Cat? Because you brought up a good point with Jaylen Brown, and I kind of agree with you. But so I think this is a perfect, like, who would you rather, Cat or Jaylen Brown?
I'd have to go Cat, I think. I'm not a Jaylen Brown believer at all. Like, for Jaylen Brown to beat me, he's got to legit make, like, all his tough shots. He just doesn't do anything. Like, Cat at least has a chance to get some boards and some blocks, and like, I'd have to take Cat over. Jaylen Brown, look at their ownerships too, both of them. Like, you got Cat 100, Jaylen 74. Just naked runs again. I don't know what the actual ownership, but that means they're two of the better plays that people are going to play. So honestly, what if you just don't play either one of them? You're a little bit different right away from the normal naked run.
Which I think is totally fine to go with.
They are both cheap, though. I'll say, when you just look at them, they're both cheap for sure.
Yeah, but could Julius Randle outscore both those guys again? Yeah, he could.
Randle, that's one thing I was for sure wrong about. He's a beast. He is way better than Cat.
I tried to tell people about this. I'm like, if this series doesn't fit Julius Randle, I don't know which series does, because this is the series he should dominate, and he's been dominating.
He was good last series too, though. He's good.
He was.
He just brings the difference between him and Cat is he's just a physical man, and Cat is the opposite.
You want to know the difference? When he throws his body around, he does it the right way. Yeah. He throws his body around without getting constantly in foul trouble or whatever. When Cat throws his body around, he's normally getting in foul trouble, or he does that thing, Tony, where he runs at an angle, hits a guy, and falls sideways, which drives me nuts. You know what I'm talking about, right? Like, he falls fucking sideways. I'm like, you're never getting that foul. Ever.
Even when Cat like crushes, it's like, you're like, how did he just make that? It's like some ugly, nasty, fadeaway looking thing where you're like, oh my God, I'll give him that.
You mean like that game when he literally saved their season against Detroit because he hit that fadeaway in the corner?
Backboard shots and the come on, like, okay, if you hit that, go ahead. Like,
literally,
congratulations.
He banked
Randall
2 threes,
taking it into your chest.
Yeah, exactly. Like he's going to bully you the right way, though. Bully you the right way. So, yeah, that's definitely something. Let's move to that game, though, Tony. Minnesota, Golden State. Minnesota favored here. I think the line is like 5.5 here in Golden State. Game 4, Minnesota up 2-1. 199.5 is the total here. Obviously, no Steph again. Jimmy was much better last game, Tony. Jimmy had a good game.
Good game till the 4th.
Ant honestly was slow to start, and he came on, in my opinion. But Julius Randle was the guy, man. Triple-double. we talked about it, but man, he was good. Rudy played better than the last game where he was terrible, but still just Rudy. And yeah, I mean, it's going to come down to like these other guys. Like I think Jimmy and Ant are going to give you good performances, but like, man, when your second guy in Randall is outdoing Golden State's second guy, like Podziemski, 1 for 10 from the field, Draymond Green, 1 for 4, 12 fantasy points, 6 fouls, 2 points. Like, Tony, those are their second and third best guys. No matter how you swing it, you're not winning games when your second and third best players are giving you that type of production. 1 for 10 from the field and the other guy giving you 2 points and 6 fouls. How are you beating Minnesota?
I just don't. This series is, I haven't understood. If I get this message to stop popping up on there, I just haven't understand this series from the beginning. I mean, this Golden State team, even with Steph, seemed super weak to me. But in this matchup, but the crazy part is, like you said, and these playoffs have been awesome for me because the stars have been struggling and Ant has been really struggling, and I don't understand how. Jimmy struggled the whole fourth quarter. He was missing layups, and like when it was crunch time, I don't even think he scored in the fourth, or if he did, he missed a lot of the open stuff. It's been, I love when the second and third guys got to step up and win it. And like you said, look at these names. And people are stroking off Kuminga. If you watch that game in the fourth especially, he made a lot of losing plays too, where he shoots a tough fadeaway 2, and he hit 2 threes at the end that didn't mean anything. And it was a lot of empty stats out there. Don't get me wrong. He was good, and he made a big difference in the early quarters and stuff. And they don't have anywhere else really to go. They got to go to him. But people were acting like people love Kuminga just because of his raw athleticism, his talent. But, man, he made some terrible plays down the stretch. And you look at these guys, these guys are cheap too. Like, Pods just has to be better tonight. They're not going to let Jimmy Butler just absolutely destroy them. They're going to run guys in length and size at him. Draymond's got to hit open shots. Kuminga's got to attack. Pods has got to do something. They got to find something from one of these other guys like Jackson Davis or somebody. But, I mean, I just look at this series like it's a total mismatch. I haven't changed it in my mind. Minnesota still hasn't played a good game. I think Minnesota's due to play a good game and just shut the door on this team and then close it out Game 5 Wednesday night. Because if they lose one of these, they know Steph. Because there's a big gap to Game 6. That's when I'm sure he'll come back, Game 6. They got to win one. So Minnesota knows if they win tonight, they know it's pretty much over. So I think they go all in tonight and just try to end this thing. And they're due to play a good game. So I'm all aboard the Minnesota train tonight. I'm piling Ant in there. Ant's got to have a one game. He's had 50 the last couple, but they haven't been good games. He was not anywhere. It was Randall. Randall had a dominant triple-double. He was awesome. I think it's Ant tonight. McDaniels really hasn't played great. Nas was terrible, and Dante was terrible last game, and they still won. What happens when these guys play good? I think it's all Minnesota tonight, and I like these guys. And Golden State, I just don't like Golden State. I don't think they got the horses to win this thing. So,
yeah, I mean, if Golden State has a chance, I think they need Podziemski. I think they also need Buddy. They need these two guys to be like good together, because when they're hitting outside shots, it makes things easier for Draymond. It takes pressure off of him to have to make shots when he's wide open. It takes pressure off of Jimmy when they're running dudes at him. So, like, I think the keys for them are Buddy Hield. Because, like, Jonathan Kuminga, honestly, Minnesota is probably totally fine with him shooting threes.
Oh,
They're totally fine with him shooting bad twos and stuff like that. Like, they don't want him attacking the rim, but like anything else, they're fine with him doing pretty much. Buddy Hield, they are not cool with him like getting hot from three, hitting wide open threes. Podziemski, like those are the two keys for, I think, Golden State because it opens up the rest of their offense and it takes pressure off of Draymond and Jimmy when those guards are doing good. Because like Gary Payton, when he's out on the floor, he gives you very little offensively. He's just out there to guard Ant. Like that's what he's doing. He's out there to play defense and to hustle. He's not out there to do much else.
So many limited guys on this roster. I mean, it's
so
just,
many.
Yeah.
It kind of shows you though how good Steph is when like it makes you appreciate
together
it.
Are perfect. Like it's perfect. The tough guy, the physical guy, and then Steph.
Yeah. Yeah, and you could tell why Jimmy loves playing with Steph.
Yeah,
like he's
perfect fit.
How many times have you heard Jimmy? They'll be like, "He's our best player. Like we need our guy." You know what I mean? I love playing with Steph.
Perfect. And it's perfect fit with Draymond too. You got two tough guys and you got Steph. But I mean, any team, you can't lose your horse. I mean, you just can't.
Denver, Jokic, dead. OKC, SGA, dead. Minnesota
OKC would be one of the teams though that does have a lot of talent, but still, they would still be.
They still would lose. They would lose to these other teams with their superstars. They would lose to Minnesota. They would lose. They would lose to these in a series. I'm saying, not in like a one-game set.
Like it just
dead. They'd be dead without Ant. They would lose. Like that's. Maybe not Minnesota in the Golden State series, but they would lose to somebody.
It would definitely get interesting quick if Ant, if he actually was hurt the other night, it would get interesting quick if Ant was out. It would be the equalizer.
Ant's like Superman, baby.
I would
just
still
keeps
like
coming
Minnesota
back.
though. If Ant was out, I would still like them. That shows how much I like because Ant hasn't even been good, and they're up 2-1. He's gonna have a good game at some point.
I mean, he just has to. And even in the games he's bad, he's giving you like 50 fantasy points.
It's exactly like Jokic. I'm telling you, Jokic has been horrible, and he still got to almost 60.
How the hell is he giving you 50, 47, and 52 in those games?
It's what these guys do. They're really good.
I mean, he had 47 in the game where he didn't play for like 7-8 minutes in the second quarter because he limped off with an injury.
That's why if he actually gets it going one of these games, I think it's tonight. I think tonight he puts his foot down, and I think we see the big game tonight. I think we see about a 65, 70 piece. I think
so. You're shoving Ant tonight. You're shoving Ant.
I mean,
you're all in.
Yeah, just because I'm for sure going to want to play Brunson just at home, and I don't really think I can get 3 on a slate like this. So it's going to be Ant and Brunson probably for me, which gets me off of Jimmy a little bit. But like we say every day on the show, I'm focused probably more on the late showdown anyways. So in that, you can get plenty of Jimmy in that if you're not playing him in the main slate as much.
Well, yeah, that's the question is are you going to fade Jimmy and the captain?
No, definitely not. Just because Minnesota, all my conviction and your conviction, they've still have struggled a lot more than I would care to admit. So could Golden State just out tough them? Because Minnesota, when they're bad, we've seen it. They just can't score. It's when they're they just can't. So I will definitely have a decent amount of Jimmy captain, honestly, because if it goes how I don't think it'll go, which could easily happen, then Jimmy will be the winning captain for sure. So I will not be on him. And that's what I've gotten better at with all the 150 builds is just because I hate something doesn't mean that it can't be the winner and you can't get some of it in there. You can't be too stubborn.
Yeah, I mean, I would expect from the Golden State side, he had the feel out game where he was playing everyone Kerr. If there was ever a game where he tries to go all out in, it's gotta be this game where
they know they gotta win one game to get Steph back. They gotta sell out tonight and try to
sell out. Well, and I think too, this game will determine which game Steph comes back. Again, hold on. That's just my opinion. That's my opinion.
Where's the notes at? Where's it at?
Yeah, you see that? That's my opinion.
Steph, no more games.
Porzingis has whatever illness and dies at halftime, and then what's his name? Steph has game 5. If they lose this though, Steph's going to have to play game 5 if he can even try to, because it's going to be over.
I'm even more convinced now. There's just a massive gap between 5 and 6. They don't play till Sunday or something.
I know, but
3-day stretch.
It's literally the season's over if he doesn't play game 5.
They're not winning. They have to win one game without him. They have to. They could win tonight. Like, what's the number?
They kind of did win one game without him. They already did that. They already did win one game without him.
There's a non-zero chance Porzingis dies on the court. No one knows what the disease is, so anything can happen.
Oh God, who the hell knows?
That's what we do. Though. We joke about stuff like that on here. That when he actually does die on the court, we're gonna get canceled.
Can't cancel us. It's 2025. You can't cancel us now. There's no canceling. We don't cancel anymore. Fucking the R word's back. We're ready.
It is freaking hot in my house now. All of a sudden, the hot weather finally got here.
Really? It was like 50 this morning. Now it's like getting a little hotter now, but it was like 50 this morning. It was nice. All right. So anything else from the Showdown side? We talked about obviously like the studs and stuff, like the cheapies. Tony, is there any cheapies that you're like partial to?
Tonight are both sellout games, so I want to be off the cheapies as much as possible. Is there a hold on before I play? Is there a cheapie I could play? I want to do everything in my power not to play any of these cheapies. I mean, you could play like a Gary, because Gary Payton could start, or you never know what they're going to do. You could play. He's only 3,200, Looney 31. I mean, you could play those guys, but I want to play, like, look at the misprice on, like, Pods. Like you said, if they play good, I think it's Pods and I think it's Buddy. Those are the two guys. And Kuminga's a good play, too. You got those guys at 5K. I'm just playing those guys. They're going to play a ton of – Golden State cannot win this game without Buddy, Pods, Kuminga, two of those three playing good. They can't. Like, they can't. So, I would just – I'm not playing cheapies. So, I'll play my cheapies in Showdown.
I might make that a rule even, because it's like you said, it's like they need two of those guys.
And they're underpriced, all three of them. So it's not the same as Denver in the way, but Denver slates are just a luxury because they only play 6 guys. So like if you can play these underpriced guys, and they're at home. I mean, they just have to. And again, this is how you got to look at it. It's not. I forgot what I was saying. I was thinking about these. I was setting up Saber and forgot what I was even saying.
Well, who the hell knows what you were saying? Because
I don't know. I was going on a tangent about something. I got sidetracked. I had one thought pop in my head about Saber, and then it jacked me all up. But whatever.
Literally, just throw you right off. That's what happens when you start doing 2 or 3 things at once, Tony. You just start talking, and then you lose track. Jeez. Well, either way, I think we're on it with those 3 specific guys and playing at least 2 of them. Gary Payton at 2,400 seems like a value that's gonna pop a little bit, I would assume, since he played a bunch of minutes. Kevon Looney was decent yesterday. His price tag's the 2K on Showdown. Trace Jackson Davis 3,200. I mean, I think people will play Looney because of the price difference more than Trace Jackson Davis. But they'll both
get projected good too. Like Looney might end up like the chalk of the Showdown and the main slate.
And his minutes are definitely like very wide. It could be 5 minutes. It could be 18. Like it could be 3. Like I
tend to think it's got to be less too, but that doesn't mean it will be because you never know with Kerr. But
never know, dude. Like you just never know.
He's gonna be big time chalk, I think, even in the main slate because the projection and on Showdown at 2K. I mean, so let's sort it by price.
Draymond's got to play 40 in this spot though, so you would have to think that hurts the bigs a little bit, right? If he pushes Draymond's minutes, he's gotten 29 the last 2 minutes. I know he got the 6 fouls, but like he's got to play big minutes tonight.
I just don't see how they win with Looney out there alongside Draymond. So this is why I like the playoff shows and the adjustments. You got to think of it like how we would attack. And man, how can you win this series with Looney and freaking Draymond out there together? I mean, come on, you can't. And the good thing is we can leverage the field a little bit in main slate, but especially Showdown. Look at these numbers, dude. Payton 2,400. These projections, I don't think, who knows where they settle. But the point being, 2,400 and 2K for big projections. I mean,
people are going to play those two. Those are going to be the
Everyone is going to shove these two. And honestly, there is a massive chance these guys suck. So,
and what happens when one random guy somehow outscores them?
Why can't it be Moses Moody? Or I know Quentin Post hasn't played, but you never know with Kerr is my point. It could be our boy Pat Spencer. Why not take a chance with somebody, Luis Santos? Maybe he comes in and makes some shots. Why not just take our chances with somebody, not the Minnesota guys? That was one thing you were right about too in one of the shows we've done is the Minnesota's not going to go below Nah. So take Terrence Shannon out of your pool and just play into this Golden State variance, because if it gets bad, they're going to try to do anything they can to find some momentum. Maybe it's one of these guys.
Yeah, but, like let's say it gets bad early. Like it could be Kerr will try other things if it gets bad, like really. Like if Pods is like really bad early, or Buddy or Jonathan Kuminga, don't think these guys are just totally locked in to their roles. The only guys locked into their roles are Draymond and Jimmy. Those are the only guys. So everyone else could be moved around depending on how it goes.
And I still just say you got to have scoring. And where will the scoring come from? Not from Draymond. Pods it could come from. Buddy could come from. I wouldn't even put Kuminga in that bucket for offense. If I need an offense, it's not Kuminga. Buddy, Trace Jackson it could come from. Not Gary Payton. It's not Kevon Looney. Quentin Post could. Pat Spencer could. Moses Moody and Santos.
And on the main slate, you just named almost like every guy under 4K. Yeah. And it's like
I don't want to play any of them.
I saw this guy's question about Nah. It's like on the main, and it's just like I don't want to play Nah, but he's probably better than all those guys you just said. Honestly, just like
do your best to not. I mean, like a guy like Nah, there's a really good chance he gets you like 7 fantasy points. Like just do it on the. So what is he on Showdown? So on Showdown, he's 3K. Like, just do it on Showdown.
Yeah, because he's probably a better play, honestly, than Looney and GP.
I would rather, just because he's got at least more upside.
Yeah, I mean, you'll be way different though if you just play one of those 1K guys instead of Looney.
We haven't done this a lot in the Showdowns either, and I'll just say it because the way the Stars have done it. I hate changing my strategies, but
you're going to play a cheapie in the captain? Is that what you're saying?
No, not that far. No.
Oh, okay.
But do where we take out all the cheapies and only play the guys that we think will play for sure. Like for Minnesota, you can leave obviously all of them in because they would. I mean, they're all pretty much plagues. They don't go deeper. But on the Golden State side, literally take out everything below Buddy Hield, take out all of those cheapies. And just run it. Let's do it right now. Let's see what it comes up with. This will be fun to exercise. All these cheapies that everyone's going to throw in there. So everything I just said, everyone throws it in the pool. Okay, this, and that. And then captains, let's make sure they're out.
Did you take all those Minnesota? Well, there's not really many Minnesota scrubs out, so.
I took them out though. Of all the guys which is only like I'm not playing.
Perfect. No, you can leave them. I mean, you can leave.
This is the captain spot here though. So
captain.
Rudy. I'll do it how I would do it. Okay, so
you're not playing Dante and the captain either.
I just want to see. It won't come up anyways. I just want to see what it does. So them and the captain and Golden State, the starters are basically. I mean, could these be the starters? These 5.
I mean, it could be the starters. They did Trace Jackson Davis last game, but
who was it? It wasn't Kuminga, right?
No, I don't think. I think it was Podziemski, Buddy Hield, Draymond, Jimmy, and Trace Jackson.
I really like the idea of just playing these 5 Golden State guys.
Let's see what it runs to. I want to see what you get. I'm interested now.
So did I get all the utility? Let me make sure there's no one in there. Even Gobert. Okay, yeah, let's see what it gives.
What's your minimum? 4-4.
You would for this actually.
You would put 4-4-4-4.
Well, that popped up quick. Yeah, so look at this build, man. Like, why does it keep scrolling up like that? Look at that build. That's a build I can live with in Showdown. Like, I love that.
Yeah,
you must have got a build.
Well, how much nod did you get in the util? I'm interested.
Probably just a ton.
I'm just wondering how much.
The captains, which I figured when you do this and you get rid of all the values, the captain's going to be spread around, which
makes sense.
I'm somewhat okay with it. And then, man, we don't even get that much. We only get 23% nah. And look at this, 9. I should just put these in right now and just run it. The 2 guys I hate the most are who we get the least. How
Yeah.
are these numbers this good?
It's got to be because of the cheap captains, though. You got a lot of cheap captains.
We
How
have
much of the
no
cheap?
bad guys, though. You know how many guys are going to bust tonight?
Yeah, but how much of the cheap captains did
Does
you
this
get?
happen a lot, Joe? That was annoying. If that happens a lot, I'll definitely say something. That was annoying.
I've noticed it on Saber too.
It just auto scrolls back up.
For whatever reason, at a certain point, yeah, it just scrolls back
So,
up.
like,
Like,
if I'm right here and I go down, I want to see these teams. Will it just scroll up?
yes, like it will
Like, look at this
eventually.
team. Oh, it just did it again, right as I was getting ready to show you that team.
See, I told you eventually it does it.
And that was a good team. Where did that team go? This one, oh my God, it's going to put me on tilt. Saber. Saber. Oh, no. I love that team. I'm not doing it again because it's going to get me too tilted. But the point was, it was Ant or Randall. It might have been Randall. And then Nas. And then 4 good Golden State guys. I think that's the build tonight. 4 Golden State guys that play. Because I think they condense the rotation and play those guys. 4 Golden State guys and then 2 Minnesota guys.
Yeah, like you've said too, the only way they don't is if they
If they're
start
just
out
sucking, if they're just
if they start
terrible,
out really bad. Like
which
if
is
this
bad
game
news
is
for them anyways.
yeah, if this game like after the first quarter is like 33-15,
Which it
the
could
curve's gonna move shit around, so that's
With the
just
way
gonna
Minnesota's
happen.
played, though, I don't know if they're capable of just fully putting belt down.
I don't know, man. They haven't played that
They
great
haven't
in the
played good. They
series,
do have
so
it.
and like you said, you made up a good point too. Like, what happens when McDaniels just has a bit? They got to have really good winning
The
percentages.
variance in these playoff series, man, I'm telling you, the more you play around with the variance, you never know when the guy's just going to have a game where some random dude goes off. Podziemski tonight goes for 40.
Well, yeah, it's probably the same thing with Pods, like when he has a big game. But like when McDaniels and or Nas have like big games, they
don't lose.
They got to be pretty friggin'
when Porter
good
Jr. and Westbrook play good, the Nuggets don't
Correct.
lose. Like when these role players, when Peyton Pritchard goes off, then Boston doesn't lose.
Because you're not expecting that. You know what I mean? Like you're not expecting those guys to give you like 25. And then
freaking LeBron wouldn't have won any titles without Ray Allen and Mike Miller, and Jordan might not have won without Steve Kerr hitting threes and Paxton hitting threes, and
they all had people. They all had
Robert Horry. How many would Shaq win without Robert
Horry?
Dude,
Robert Horry. He hit some massive shots, Robert
That was
Horry.
with Shaq and Kobe. Everybody's heroes. They wouldn't have won without Robert Horry. And Derek Fisher hitting the point.
He had some big shots for the Spurs too, didn't he?
Tim Duncan might not have won some without Robert Horry. Every team needs role players. And Shaq says it every night on the telecast. The others got to come through. You're not going to usually win because Ant's Ant. Like you said, he was terrible the first couple games, still 50, 56. 40.
He's still giving you like 30-something too. Like,
don't get me wrong. When they're great, it's easier. But you're not winning because of freaking Jason Tatum tonight. You need some other guys to do it.
No, I mean, Jason Tatum could lose you the game, though.
When the stars are bad, that's the difference. Yeah. When Tyrese Halliburton has 14 fantasy points, you're going to lose that game a lot of the time.
Yeah. Or when Jason Tatum takes the ball in the last play and dribbles it off his leg or whatever.
Into 3 guys that tries
into
to throw
3 guys, at an angle, going sideways. Just yeah. That'll happen real fast. So all right, I think we broke down the slate pretty good, Big T. I think we got all our thoughts out. Favorite play on the slate, just overall, you got one play. Who's it going to be?
Who would my favorite play be? I think Mitch Rob, man. As far as the whole slate, I just think he's so important. For the only thing I hate about saying him is he's got a lot of variance too with how they use him and stuff. I don't care. Everyone knows the good plays. I mean, we talked about it all. I think Mitch Rob will be the key just because I don't like Cat as much. If Cat gets in foul trouble, it's all Mitch Rob, and Mitch Rob could just play even with Cat. I think it's Mitch Rob, but I don't know. I think we brought up a lot of good
we talked about. I like that rule we talked about where it was like play 2 of Pods, Buddy Hield, and Kuminga.
Yeah.
because I think two of those guys get on the winner here, and they're so
And
cheap. Even on
Showdown
the
and main slate for the record.
even on the main
Showdown and
slate.
main.
Yeah, we didn't even talk about that, but they're so cheap. 5,300 for Podziemski, 5,200 for Kuminga. Buddy Hield's 4,700.
So cheap.
And what happens when Pods finally has a good game and somehow all three of them get you like 30 plus, Tony? Because that could happen. Like that.
They're at
that
home
definitely
still,
could.
and I know I like Minnesota, so but we got to cover all angles. This should be a Golden State sellout game. Like, sell out for it.
We could see the Boston Knicks game go to like overtime like it did that one time, but Minnesota Golden State still be the winning like stack at the end of the day. That's how good these price tags are if they show up and push Minnesota. Because, dude, if they don't push Minnesota at all, Minnesota's gonna roll. They're gonna just roll in a spot like this if they don't give them anything.
Golden State's tough mentally too. They're not gonna. They might get killed, but it won't be because they don't try hard tonight. They're gonna come after it with everything.
Yeah, like Pods is gonna shoot. Like he's 1 for 10, 1 for 7 in this. Man. He's going to chuck tonight. Like whether it goes in or not is irrelevant. Like he's going to be aggressive.
This is the first slate since we've done these where I just think you just pound this mid range, and in the main slate and the showdown, like Draymond, McDaniels even. McDaniels down to Dante, 7,600 to 5K. I just think you pound that range.
Yeah, and try and stay away from the 3K range as much as possible in the main slate, and try and stay away from the.
I'm half tempted to take Nah out of this showdown player pool too, like, and maybe even like Conley, and literally just go like guys that I know will,
and see how much you get. Like, what's going to tilt you though is when they get like 18, but it's the winner. Because like they're just cheap enough.
I still only get smaller numbers of these guys anyway, so I'll probably just leave it in.
I was gonna say they're pretty low for builds where I thought they were gonna at least one of them
was gonna be 70% on a naked.
Me too.
Runner.
That's what I thought. Like that was pretty.
They do got wild. Though. They do got Ant. Like I need to adjust numbers. This like Ant and Jimmy can't be at 44 and 47. Like they have to come up a little bit. Like you can't project them at that.
Damn. Robert Horry has 7 rings. I didn't even realize
that's what happens when you play with all studs and you make every clutch shot for
Rockets, Spurs, Lakers. He played with all those teams, got rings.
Look at those legendary teams he played on too. Played with Hakeem, played with Shaq, and played with Tim Duncan.
I mean, those Spurs and Lakers teams were like those are some of like the best teams.
And the Rockets team was better than Jordan's teams. They just never met in the finals. They
never met.
They were like the 2 years Jordan was off was the years they won it, and it was just like weird.
God, what would have happened if he didn't leave? That's like we would have seen it probably. We would have seen it.
It would have been a great series because the last one would have made it
interesting. That sucks. That definitely sucks. But all right, that's going to do it here for the show. Make sure you guys check out the King of the Diamond prop. We talked about it earlier. If you joined us later on in the show, you can rewind, go back, listen to it. We talked about the promo that DraftKings Sportsbook is doing. You got to have DK Sportsbook. You got to have betting live in your state. But if you do, go opt in to the King of the Diamond. Go bet 5 bombs for tonight. 5 guys you like to hit a bomb. And me and Tony talked about a little strategy on how to attack which teams to like and maybe who to attack on those teams. So check that out. Go back, rewind, and watch the beginning of the show. You'll hear us talk about that. Tony, good doing the show with you. Hopefully we get some winners in the Discord later tonight. Come join Run Pure Sports. RPS 15 is the promo code for 15% off your monthly or weekly over at Run Pure Sports. And that'll do it. Good luck in your contest for Big T and myself, JSU. We'll see you guys tomorrow. We're out of here. Peace.